In games of strategy, it has been known for ages that it is more valuable to threaten to attack than it is to actually attack. Attack is too costly. However, the mere threat of attack is well worth taking your time. Imagine Genghis Khan in his ultimatums when he approached a city or a village or a group of people. He would linger on the details of all the horrors he promised to inflict on them, or he'll let you live and you can go on worshiping whoever you want. You just do it under his rule. It's very telling how much time he would spend on the gory details. Or you can just survive, give me everything, and we can all get along. It's an ancient way of doing things. And what I am getting at with this is that the brotherhoods and the secret societies have spent most of their energy laying out the symbols of threat, the symbols of hazard, in hopes to speak to the deepest layer of the human mind. They are circumventing the prefrontal cortex, and they are whispering directly to the hypothalamus. This goes even back to the Brotherhood of Ptah. The word hypothalamus comes from the word ptah. And the order of ptah is a order of snake worshippers. And they were also stonemasons, and the overseers of the order were indemnified against any injury that the laborers would be subjected to. It was some of the earliest forms of insurance, and it is all preserved. These practices are preserved in, the Masonic order today. So they know quite well the nature of the hypothalamus. They know the value of a threat. And much of, our corp oration, that's death speak, corp oration. The death speak is designed to penetrate to your fear center and whisper threats so that you are more inclined to, I'll just go along to get along. I'll take the easy path. But what I'm doing here today, folks, I'm not trying to black pill. I'm not trying to scare. I'm not trying to proliferate any fear. I want to show you directly the spells that are being whispered to the deepest layer of human consciousness, to the lowest of lower selves. And I just want you to know what these whispers mean and where they have been placed as mental traps throughout history, and that form the entirety of the construct we live in. So, I know that was a mouthful, but that was just the introduction. I want to move into the story of Christ calling out the bankers in the temple, the money changers. He called them a den of vipers. The scientific name for a den of vipers is a generation of vipers. And here in that scientific name, in that term of art, we have a gen narration. And the narration of Genesis was about the snake. It was about that secret order of ptah and the hypothalamus, the inner self. And the snake was an earth element, and it was using an earth element for temptation, the tree. And the snake and the tree have something very significant in common, and that is camouflage, the color of green. And what these terms of art and these snares, these traps, these veiled threats, what they are designed to do is to bring you in close so that the conscious mind does not see the implication of being entangled in the mental snare that is actually laying in wait while very thinly whispering in your ear the hazard of your worst fears. And they know the worst fears of man, and they've been harnessing them and using them for ages and ages, lifetimes and lifetimes. So a lot of these threats may not be speaking to you directly. They may be speaking to your previous selves or to your previous ancestors. Their epigenetic memory of what your DNA knows that you don't even know you know. So we're going to be talking about the enmity between the bloodlines, the serpents of Venice, and, the efforts to impregnate the human consciousness with the very idea of fear and, our intimate relationship with good and evil. So in Genesis, the snake, infiltrated and betrayed humanity and continues to today in many ways. And that symbol, is used perpetually. Even the word brotherhood, there we have that hood, which is a cobra's hood, the snake. All of these concepts of clothing and camouflaged and being covered and hidden, the hidden hand, all of these are symbols of the serpent. And whether you believe it or not, the bankers sure do. And I guarantee you that they are using it to flaunt your ignorance right in front of your face, and they are speaking to your deepest, deepest fears. So we're going to move in on this top dollar bill. And we're going to see how this Great Seal of the United States is much like the defilement of the bankers in the temple. They were putting images of the bull on the coins, and that was defiling the temple. It was iconoclastic. They were hijacking people's trust, people's faith in the money system by putting their symbols in that place. And here I want to show you, in the front of the dollar bill, we have the Knights Templar with their MAGA cap and the Mithraic order, the Knights of St. George. On the back, we have quite another brotherhood. Here we see the Masons. And got the M-A-S-O-N, the Masons. And a lot of people have probably seen this online, but I bet you haven't seen this one. There's the I. That filigree creates the L. O. V. E. I love eagles? No, I don't think so. Look even closer. That is lamb. That is Aleister Crowley's lamb. That is the gray. We are talking about the gray pope here, the Hierophant. This is the hidden order. We got the white pope, we got the black pope, and there is a gray pope. And the gray pope is the most hidden of them all. It walks between the extremes and harnesses the benefits of polarity very easily, very subtly, and very cunningly. So, Lamb, Aleister Crowley, he generated the image of Lamb around 1919, 1920 or so. And this $1 bill in the seal thereon goes back to sometime in the 1920s. So it was not long after some of his early works with the idea of lamb, that became the Great Seal of the United States. And there is an image on the internet that I would like to show everybody that goes even further back than Mr. Crowley. This goes back to the even before Napoleon with his hidden hand in his vest. You know, the snake, hidden snake kissing the heart. You know, indemnity between the bloodlines. So what I'll do here is I'll flip this upside down. We all know about Zeus. Zeus, very much like the fallen angels, was a very rapey character in Greek mythology. And I find it profound that, Ovid wrote so much about gods coming down to rape the daughters of man. And when we look here at old Zeus, this is an ancient carving, very, very ancient bust. And we flip him upside down and we look close enough. First of all, you have to look past the profane. You have to see past the cock and balls. You know, Zeus was a dickhead. Ha ha, real funny, we get it. And you could just sit there and laugh and dismiss the profound if you don't see that that is an alien head. Notice that there are no nostrils. The serpent smells with its tongue. It smells through its skin. There are no nostrils for a reason. And there is quite a wise look to the eyes of that serpent being. And what I'll do is I will end this one before I move forward, but I wanted to get the aliens out of the way because, you know, the aliens speak to some of our deepest, most primal fears that